Hey lovelies, it's Kate. Welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. I'm so excited to show you this build. It is time for a family home in Hanford on Bagley. This one is inspired by autumn. It's a beautiful, scenic, autumnal family home. I wasn't in the mood to work on something spooky yet. I know spooky season is technically already here, but first it's time for a traditional, beautiful family home. After working on all these industrial penthouses, which were quite modern, I wanted to work on something cozy and scenic. And I had so much fun working on this. And I approached this build the traditional KateEmerald way. So I didn't just lay out a whole shell, but instead I built a tiny room, as you can see here, just one bay window, and I started to decorate and clutter, and I just added as many details as possible, and then I expanded the build step by step. This is how I usually like to approach a build. This is how I do it, and I had so much fun, and it worked perfectly fine, because sometimes you never know if this is really working out, because you start to work on just a part of the build, and then when you add more and the build kind of comes along, sometimes you notice, okay, this doesn't make a lot of sense, it's not looking good, but here it worked out. I'm really pleased with the result. It's just a really traditional yet over the top family home. It's traditional because the shape isn't too big or crazy. It's really scenic and beautiful, but at the same time, I just added so much stuff. You can already see it here. I just added so many objects to the exterior just to decorate. I'm not really good at cluttering when it comes to the interior, but I really like to clutter my exteriors, and I really enjoyed this. The whole process was so much fun. Here I'm using the True mod. I rotated this wooden roof decoration from Cottage Living. And just a little disclaimer, as always, you don't need the mod to download this build. Everything will still be in place. So you can just head over to the gallery, my ID's KateEmerald, you can place this and everything will be fine. You just have to activate the Move Objects cheat, but I mean, they've updated the game. The game is now giving you a warning when the creator has used the Move Objects cheat, and I'm always using the Move Objects cheat. So whenever you are placing one of my builds, you can always activate Move Objects. I don't think that I've ever created a build without Move Objects. This could be a fun challenge, but I don't know. I don't know how people do it. It's so difficult. It's always activated for me. Here I'm merging different doorways, and I'm just adding more and more to the build. I wanted to have a chimney. For the chimney on top, I just combined two from Cottage Living. And I knew that I would like to have a very overgrown, beautiful build. So I knew that I would like to add lots of plants and flowers. And what's super fun is I built this in autumn because, I mean, it's autumn themed. So I changed the season to autumn. And when you do this, the color of plants and trees is changing, of course. And this is especially fun when it comes to flowers and bushes. As you can see here, the color is super beautiful, but not as saturated, but you can still tell that these plants are reddish and pink, but a little bit more muted. So it's not as saturated. The colors aren't popping as much. And I really like this look. I really, really like this. So it was so much fun building in autumn. And I just placed lots of them. These are from the debug menu. They are part of Cottage Living, but you could use any bush, any plant for this. And I just pressed 9 on my keyboard to raise them. So when you press 9, you can raise objects. When you press 0, you can lower objects. And I just stack them on top of each other. Again, as I've said, I've always activated Move Objects. So you definitely want to make sure when you're building this yourself that you've activated the cheat. And this way you can place all these bushes and plants. You can merge them into each other. And I think it's a very cool and fun method to create some overgrown, beautiful builds and cottages in general. I didn't even want to head into the whole cottage direction originally. I just wanted to build something that screams autumn. But then after I added more and more objects from Cottage Living, and I was also building in Hanford on Bagley, at some point I thought this is looking more and more like a cottage. I don't know. I'm not sure what it really looks like after all, the finished product. But I felt like it started to turn into a cottage slowly. Here I'm working on some type of sunroom or just an area to sit on the outside, and I used the white base game shelves for this. I rotated them using tool, and I wanted to create a roof, like the shape of a roof. And what I did was I placed a regular roof just to have the correct angle, because in the past I've done something similar and I was just ringing it. I didn't place a roof like this, so I had no reference, and I was just starting to rotate some shelves. And when I was almost done, I noticed that I didn't really like the angle. I wanted the whole roof that I created to be more steep, and then I had to redo everything. So whenever I'm doing something like this now, I always place a regular roof for reference, so I can just zoom out, I can take a look at it, and I can figure out if I really like the dimensions, the angle, and then I use my roof as a guideline. I generally love to use stuff as a guideline, so as a lot of you know, I really like to place a round rock just to have a guideline whenever I'm creating a round shape, and you can use little tricks like this to create some cool shapes, and it's much easier most of the time than just ringing it. I also placed some windows from Cottage Living. I just stacked them on top of each other, once again pressing 9 on my keyboard. I added some columns. Usually columns just snap to the grid, so you can't change their position. You can't place them freely even when you hold down Alt on your keyboard, but you can use the tool mod to move columns freely. So when you just toggle them and use the gravity pull feature, you can move columns freely, and that's what I did for the little greenhouse or whatever it is, just to have the correct position for my columns. I then started to work on the whole outside area. I wanted to have a patio, so I used some foundations. I used some round foundations in the corners just to have this beautiful shape. And then I decided to completely hide the foundation by using a debug object from Cottage Living. This is just some type of wall or fence, and I just placed lots of them. You can here see that I'm using a little bit of tool to find the correct position. Technically it would be possible without the tool mod, but it's much easier this way. So I just found the correct position. I duplicated my round section and lowered them a bit. I was just trying to find the perfect spot for every single object, and then I started to landscape a bit. I used these beautiful trees, which I sized down a bit, these reddish ones. I don't even know which color they have when it's not autumn, probably just a regular lush green. But I also used them on the roof, and I haven't taken a look at this build yet in summer. I totally want to do that. I'm curious what it looks like, because I really built this to be used in autumn, but when you place this in your game, you are going to use this in different seasons, of course, and I'm kind of curious what it looks like in different seasons. This could be so much fun. It either looks really good or really bad, probably. I'm just really excited because of the whole, just the color combination, because of all the plants and trees. I'm going to take a look at this later. And I added more debug objects on top of these pillars for my fence, just some type of lamp, which can also be found in the debug menu, and it's part of Cottage Living. And I just added some random clutters, some mushrooms, this tree, just different things. I just really wanted this to be cluttered and beautiful. And there's so many amazing objects in debug from Cottage Living, just amazing. And then I added lots of pumpkins. I was so excited to add the pumpkins. It's like working on a cake and you are excited for the point where you can just decorate the cake a bit. This is what it felt like for me, because I knew that I would like to add lots of pumpkins everywhere to make it look really autumnal in combination with the colors that I chose. And I was just so looking forward to doing this, and I placed so many pumpkins. So the big one, which is kind of laying on the side, is from Cottage Living, which can again be found in the debug menu. And the other one is from the Spooky Stuff pack. I sized some of them down and up so they look a bit different because they are all the same. When you take a look at debug from the Spooky Stuff pack, you will also find the ones which are already carved. So if you want to have a spooky Halloween build, the Spooky Stuff pack does make sense in a lot of ways. Not only because of the stuff that's part of the pack in general, but also because of debug, because of all the pumpkins, and I just love this. I love pumpkins so much. I love to look at pumpkins. I love to bake with pumpkins and eat them. I love pumpkins in general. They're just amazing. I then started to work on the back of the build. I wanted to have an area to sit. I also wanted to build a pool. And here's the thing, I confused myself. Like, as you know, I took a break and I wasn't really building, and I kind of forgot that we have a pond tool now, so I just built a pool. I mean, I've always done it this way. At some point I realized, oh my gosh, we have a pond tool now. But then I thought, no, that's cool. This way your Sims will be able to actually swim in this. So it's like a swimming pond. So I designed it in a way that it looks like a pond, but it's a functional pool. So it's like a 2-in-1, I guess. So I could have just used a pond, but at least now it's functional, so why not? I added lots of stuff on the outside to hide the edge. When you do this yourself, just make sure that you're hiding the edges properly, using some bushes and some rocks, but also make sure that the shape is a bit more organic. I didn't really do this here, so it looks a bit fake, I have to admit. You want to have a more random organic shape, probably just like a typical pond shape, probably, if you want to build a swimming pond like this. But I think it still turned out cute, and I used the flat basking bush, that's what I always call it, to hide the steep slope so it looks more natural. And I really like to work on builds like this because the landscaping is a bit more random. It's not like super polished, like when you work on a celebrity mansion or something. Everything is like in the perfect spot, and so I don't know, it just has the perfect position, and I really enjoy to just randomly landscape sometimes. So you can just add a tree here and there, a bush, a plant, a flower. I really like this. I just had so much fun, and I wanted to add a fence, but not all the way around this, so I decided that I would like to add some random debug pillars, as you can see, and the randomness is what makes it look so fun and kind of realistic, I think. And now it is time for a giveaway. I would like to say thank you so much. Thank you for your support. Thank you for over 150K subs. Thank you for always being here by my side. Thank you for all the things you've made possible for me. You have no idea how grateful I am for all the things you've made possible for me. I enjoy creating so much. I love building, and I just love you so much. So I want to give a little something back, and here is how it works. I'm giving away 1 key for The Sims 4 Cottage Living for PC for Origin, and you can find the link to Gleam in the description box and in the pinned comment. So you have to click on the link and you can enter the giveaway there. You have to enter your email. And here's what's important. There are different ways you can enter. So there is one way, it just says type anything, and you can literally just type anything. So you can type hi or just random letters, so you don't have to follow me anywhere. You can just type something randomly to enter. But you can also, if you want to, follow me on Twitter, for example. I've set it up this way. I always do that, so you don't have to do something if you want to enter. You don't have to follow me anywhere. You can just type something. But if you want to, you could follow me. So it's up to you, because I just want to give you something back, and I don't want you to like force to follow me somewhere, if that makes sense. So I just wanted to explain this in case it's a bit confusing on Gleam. If you have any questions about this, how to enter or something, if something is not working properly, leave a comment down below. And yeah, the giveaway starts now and it ends on October 21st. And yeah, good luck to all of you. In case you still haven't grabbed The Sims 4 Cottage Living, you can do that. It's the latest expansion pack. I've used so many objects from Cottage Living in this build, and I thought it just makes sense to give away this pack. And yeah, good luck to all of you, and thank you so much for your support always. Oh, and I'm going to contact you, and I'm also going to announce the winner in a video. So the first video after October 21st, I don't know, maybe it's October 22nd or something. As soon as I make a video after the giveaway has ended, I'm going to announce the winner, and I'm also going to contact you. I'm going to send you an email, and yeah, good luck to all of you. Yeah, here I'm working on the kitchen. I had so much fun. I shared this picture on Twitter yesterday because I was so proud and happy. Sometimes it's difficult to have some really autumnal warm kitchens, and I don't know, for me the color scheme is a bit difficult, and I wanted this to look autumnal but at the same time not too dark, so I used lots of white and so many cabinets, so many of them, and some of them are super high up again. I'm sorry. I think I just have a really deep desire to have more storage space in my kitchen, and that's why I always add too many cabinets. I don't know. I've reorganized my kitchen, and I've added some spice racks to the doors of my kitchen cabinets. I think I've briefly mentioned this in the last video. I made share a picture on Instagram or Twitter, and you have to, like, they're attached on the inside of the door, like of the kitchen cabinet. And I have so much more space now. Like the whole cabinet was a huge mess. Like I've always tried to like keep it tidy, but there were like so many spices that I've lost control over this cabinet over and over again, but now they are all nice and it's just nice and neat and tidy, and I'm so happy about that. I think that's why I always add so much storage space to my builds. This is the living room, and I just wanted this to be super cozy. And at first I placed the sofa in this corner, then I realized that I want to add some different things to this, and you can see how the sofa is slowly creeping away from the bay window. And this is the bay window that I started to work at in the very beginning of the video. And just added more and more things, like an easel, just different things. I really wanted this to be really cozy, and it's like super cluttered. Like for my standards, like for what I'm able to do usually, I've cluttered this so much. And this is one of the bedrooms, and I really tried to stay in this like color scheme. I wanted this to be super rustic, and I think this once again kind of screams cottage living, but it's such a beautiful pack. It's just amazing. And yeah, I can't wait to create some more builds in general. I also want to create something round shaped again. It's been a while. I just feel like I want to have like a over the top build using lots of pristine pedestals. I don't know. This was like very rustic, and I just needed something different after all these penthouses, but now I might be ready for something modern that's different. I don't know. I have no idea what to build yet, to be honest. I'm always so excited whenever I finished a build in video, because it's like sitting in front of a blank canvas and anything is possible, and I have no idea what to build next. I've talked about the vampire castle in the last video, and some of you have left a couple of comments with some ideas, and if you have some more ideas, just leave them down below in the comments. And this is it. This video is slowly coming to an end. You can see all the screenshots here. I've had so much fun working on this, and I hope you like this build. You can grab it from the gallery. My ID is KateEmerald, and I hope you are all doing well. And yeah, check out the pinned comment and the description box for the giveaway. Good luck to anyone who enters, and thank you for your support. And now it's time to thank my wonderful Emerald Patreons. A big thank you to Asia, Brynja Wilcox, Delilah Darkmoor, Jennifer Lewis, Callan Renee, Shannon McClam, Jelena Lynn, and Victoria Smithies. Thank you so much to all of you. Thank you to all my other Patreons. Thank you to anyone who watches my videos and supports me. I love you all so much. I hope you're doing well, stay safe, and I hope I see you in the next video. Bye bye!